Hello, hi, namaskar to all the students, to all the viewers, to all the CA aspirants. Welcome back. This particular channel, we are almost in the ending session of so-called important chapter of rectification of errors, my dear students. As we already completed 21 class in rectification of errors, now let us move on to the next one, that is class number 22, my dear students. Here the errors are disclosed in the next year. As usual, you people know very well. When the errors are disclosed in the next year, in the place of incomes and in the place of expenses, we have to use what, my dear students? We have to use P&L adjustment account. But P&L adjustment should not be used in case of asset, capital and liabilities. In all these three situations, we are not supposed to use the P&L adjustment account, use the as usual same name itself. Fine, let me move on to the problem of this particular class, my dear student. The trial balance of ABC Limited as on December 2002 didn't agree. The difference was put to a suspense account. To which account the difference is placed? Suspense account. During the next trading period. So he is telling that during the next trading period, it means during the next financial year called next year, the following errors were disclosed. As we know very well, my dear students, when the errors are disclosed in the next year, you please remember these two things. In the place of income and expenses, use the P&L adjustment account. Shall we start? Fine. The total of the sales book of one page 600 and 531 was carried forward to the next page as a 6,530 351. See, in actual value 6,531 is the correct value, but they have taken 6,351 rupees is taken. What is the balance? 80 rupees. This is the wrong value. See, instead of recording 6,531, they have recorded 6,351. What happened? This is called under cost, under record. Fine. Now let us move on to the again detailed explanation. In which book it is under cost? It is under cost in sales book. Sales book is what? Income. Income means what? Credit. Fine. In the place of income, what we have to use? In the place of income, we have to use P&L adjustment. See, now I connect these two things together. I connect these two things together, my dear students. What happened? Being a income, as a P&L adjustment, as a credit balance, the credit balance is become under recorded. The credit balance is being under recorded. When it is under recorded, we have to take it in what side? We have to take it in same side, that is credit side only. So in the credit side, what I am supposed to write? I am supposed to write to sales. Instead of sales, I have to take P&L adjustment account. Then what I should write on the top? Since it is a one-sided error, I have to write suspense on the debit side. So for this, journal entry will be suspense account debit to the P&L adjustment account. Shall we make an entry? Fine. Let me move on to the formats, that is rectified journal entry. In that, what is that? Rectified journal entries in the bracket in which the rectification is done next year. Now what is the answer you got? Suspense account debit to, instead of writing sales, what I am supposed to write? P&L adjustment account. How much it is, my dear student? An amount of rupees 980, right? 80 or 90? 80 rupees only. Being under cost in, oh sorry, not 80. Oh sorry, not 80. 110. It is 80. It is 1, right? 180. Sorry. It is 180. Being under record, or being under record in sales account is rectified. Under record in sales account is rectified. Fine, let me move on to the next transaction, my dear student. See what happened here. Goods returned by a customer but entered in the purchase returns book. See what happens here. Goods returned by a customer. What do you mean by goods returned by a customer? It is nothing but sales returns. Sales returns comes under the heading of income and expenses. So it is to be taken, it is to be replaced with P&L adjustment account. Fine. What is the balance of sales returns? Sales returns is to be debited. Am I right? Sales and sales returns are opposite. Sales is a credit, sales returns is a debit. Fine, it is to be debited. Returned by whom? Returned by a customer. Who is customer? Customer is a debtor. When the customer, my dear student, when the debtor returned goods, debtor also decreases, asset decreases, it is to be credited, correct. If you stop, what is your entry is sales returns account debit to debtors account. Instead of sales returns, use P&L adjustment account debit to debtors account. Means a trade receivable also we can call it as. Trade receivable, debtor, customer. Fine. But entered where, my dear student? Entered in purchase returns book. बाप रे, आपने किधर एंट्री किए? It is entered in purchase returns book. In which returns book? Purchase returns book. Purchase returns also income and expenses category. We have to use P&L adjustment account. Fine. What balance that the purchase returns got? Purchases is a expenses debit. Purchase returns is a credit. Because it is opposite of purchases, it is to be credited. So they have taken it as wrong credit. Why? Because instead of recording the sales returns, the entry is made in the purchase returns. Now what is your rectified entry? As we know very well, my dear student, keep the correct in the same place. Keep the correct in the same place. Shift the wrong in the opposite place. Then what is your journal entry? Sales returns account debit, purchase returns account debit to debtors account. Instead of telling sales returns, what we have to use? Profit and loss adjustment account debit. Profit and loss adjustment account debit, because wrong credit debit mein aata. How many times purchase returns comes in debit side? It comes two times. So P&L adjustment account debit, P&L adjustment account debit to debtors or trade receivable. Instead of writing P&L adjustment two times, you have to write only once. Profit and loss adjustment account debit to debtors. Debtors is nothing but trade receivables. How many times we have to take the amount? We have to take the amount two times. 1200 plus 1200. 2400 dash 2400 being wrong credit in purchase returns account is rectified. I hope you got it. See the next one. What happened in the next transaction, my dear student? Personal car expenses amounting to rupees 250. What do you mean by personal car expenses? It is a drawings. Do you think drawing is a income or expenses? No, drawing comes under the category of capital. Right? It is not neither a income nor a expenses. So we should not replace it. Debited to the trade expenses account. So drawings is to be debited because it is the opposite of capital. Debited to the trade expenses. So it is what? Wrong debit. Then what to do? Keep the correct in the same place, shift the wrong in the opposite place. Then what is your entry? Drawings account debit to trade expenses. Can we write trade expenses? No. Trade expenses is to be replaced with what? It is to be replaced with P&L adjustment account. Then now your entry will be what? Drawings account debit to P&L adjustment account. That is entry number 3. Because trade expenses is expenses that is to be replaced with P&L adjustment account. How much amount, my dear students, is an amount of rupees 250. Being wrong debit to trade expenses account is rectified. Wrong debit to trade expenses account is rectified. Let me move on to the next one. Sales returns book was under cost. Sales returns. Sales returns means what balance? It has a debit balance. Under cost means recording same side. Same side means debit side only. So now sales returns what? It comes under the category of income category as a sales heading. So it is to be replaced with what? P&L adjustment account. Instead of sales we have to use P&L adjustment account. Right? Now your entry will be what? Keep the P&L adjustment in the same side. Means P&L adjustment account debit because it is under cost. P&L adjustment account debit to what? Suspense account because it is a one-sided error. Hai na? Now let me write the entry number 4. That is P&L adjustment account debit to suspense account. How much amount? 2750 dash 2750. Being under cost in sales returns account is rectified. Under cost in sales returns account is rectified. See the next one, my dear student, what happened here. Rupees 50 discount allowed by a supplier. Discount allowed by a supplier means whom? Creditor. Here discount allowed by a supplier means it is a income. What happened here? It is a income. Income is to be what? Credited as a correct entry. But wrongly posted to the debit side of discount account. Since you wrongly posted to the debit side of discount account, it is a wrong debit. Right? Discount allowed is a income. Income is to be credited, but wrongly you have debited to discount account. The wrong is happened in the discount account, not in the supplier's account. No way connected with supplier because we didn't committed any mistake in supplier because he is clearly telling that discount allowed by a supplier wrongly debited to discount account. So it is a one-sided error. Now my dear student, discount allowed is an income. It is to be replaced with what? It is to be replaced with what? Profit and loss adjustment account. Here also it is an discount, debited. It is also income and expenses category. It is also to be replaced with P&L adjustment account. Now tell me how to rectify. I told you the same thing. Keep the correct in the same place. Shift the wrong in the opposite place. ये तो क्रेडिट प्लेस में है, क्रेडिट में ही लिखना. ये भी क्रेडिट में है, डेबिट में है. We have to convert wrong debit, so we have to take it in credit side. So both the P&L adjustment comes where? Both the P&L adjustment comes in credit side. Then what is to be written on the debit side? Suspense account is to be written on the debit side. The entry will be suspense account debit to P&L adjustment to P&L adjustment. Do you think P&L adjustment is to be written twice? No, it is to be written once and add the amount for 2 times. The amount is 50 rupees. So now your entry will be entry number 5, that is what? Suspense account debit P&L adjustment account 50 plus 50, it comes what? 100 dash 100. Being wrong debit in discount account is rectified. Being wrong debit in discount account is rectified. Being wrong debit in discount account is rectified. See the next concept, my dear students, what happened? An item of purchases 151 was entered in the purchase book. It is entered in the purchase book as 15 rupees. Bapre. You have purchased for 151, entered in the purchase book as a 15, posted to the supplier's account as a 51. A very important transaction. See what happened. The wrong thing is happened both in the purchase book as well as in the supplier account. Now I tell you, an item purchased for 151 entered in the purchase book as a 15. So what happened? So it is under in purchase book. Under in purchase book by how much? Out of 151 subtract 15, it comes to 136. Under in purchase returns book 136. Right? Secondly, posted to the supplier account as a 51. Who is supplier, my dear student? We know very well. Supplier is whom? Supplier is creditor. Who is supplier? Supplier is creditor. Creditor में आप कितने डालें? 51 डालें. Let me explain. Now, how much it is? 151. In your creditor you have recorded 51. 100 rupees. इधर भी under हुआ, इधर भी under हुआ. किधर? Creditor. Here also under in creditors. How much? 100. मालूम हुआ अब? परचेज बुक में अंडर हुआ 136, क्रेडिटर में भी अंडर हुआ 100 rupees. Now let us go for 5-star explanation. What do you mean by 5-star explanation? It is a purchases. Purchases means expenses. Expenses means debit. Right? It is to be taken 136 because it is a under debit. This is your correct entry. Fine. Here under creditor. Creditor means what? Liability. Liability means what? Credit. How much we have to record? 100. A be under high. Now your rectified entry is what? Purchase account debit. I repeat my explanation. Purchase account debit to creditors account. Purchases में 136 आया, creditor में 100 आया. Difference कितना हुआ? 36. That 36 is to be transferred to suspense account. Okay, I write here. After that I go for modification. Now I will write purchase account debit 136 to creditors account 100. Difference आ जाएगा कितना वो? Suspense account 36. Do you think are we allowed to use the purchases? No, purchases is a expenses. It is to be replaced with P&L adjustment. So here expenses means what we have to use? We have to use P&L adjustment. So the ultimate entry is P&L adjustment account debit 136 to creditors account 100 to suspense account 36. Shall we write the entry number 6? That is P&L adjustment account debit 136 to supplier or to creditor. It is known with trade payables. Am I right? As rupees 100. The difference goes to where? The difference goes to suspense account 36, being under, see, being under debit in purchase book and under credit in creditors account is rectified. Under debit in purchase book, under debit in purchase account, under credit in creditors account is rectified. Okay, fine. This completes all the entries. Okay, now what we have to do? We need to spend some space for writing the last entry. That entry comes only after preparing and closing which ledger? Profit and loss adjustment account. See what happens in profit and loss adjustment account. Observe from the first entry. In the first entry, suspense account debit to P&L adjustment. Suspense account is in the debit place of journal. So it goes to where? Credit place of the ledger, that is by suspense account as rupees 180. है ना? P&L adjustment to debtor mean trade receivable. Trade receivable is in the credit of journal, so it goes to where? Debit of ledger. To debtors account, or else you can write to trade receivable account as rupees 2400. Fine. Next, drawings account debit to P&L adjustment. Drawing is in the debit side of journal, so it comes to the credit side of ledger as drawings 250. In the next entry, P&L adjustment to suspense. Suspense is in the credit side, so it comes to a debit side. To suspense account, I hope it is 2750. Am I right, my dear students? Are you getting my word? We are in the climax part. See the next one. Suspense account debit to P&L adjustment. Suspense again is in the debit side, so it goes to where? Credit side. See the last entry. P&L adjustment to creditor to supplier. So what we have to write? Both the creditors and the suppliers are in the credit side of journal, so they comes where? To the debit side of ledger. So let me write to creditors account 100, to suspense account 36. Now you close completely, my dear student. I hope you are getting more on the credit side. The credit side total comes to rupees 5286. Use the calci and work out 5286. How much difference we are getting? We are getting a difference of how much? Subtract all these, 4756. It is to be transferred to which account? Transferred to capital account. When you have written by capital in the credit side of ledger, when you have written by capital in the credit side of ledger becomes what? Debit side of journal. P&L adjustment account debit. Sorry, my dear student. Since the capital is in the debit side of journal, right? Capital is in the credit side of journal, so it comes where? Debit side. Capital account debit. Am I right? To P&L adjustment account, because it is credit side of ledger. Credit side of ledger becomes debit side of a journal. 4756. So this is how we have to solve the problem. Almost still I am going to cover one more class in the same one. After that I go for inventory chapter, my dear student. Okay. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.